Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Thelma dressed in a little wedding dress. Dress for Success was our idiom for Supersize Your Business today. So we had Thelma dress up just to set the example of dressing up. I actually put on a dress today, which is unusual for me. These days, especially given working from home, lifestyle changes, etc. But our idiom, it's a new idiom. It's from the 20th century, early to mid 20th century, when dressing up and dressing became more important depending on the situation, depending on the first impression and the lasting impression you wanted to make. Lots of personal development gurus in the early days, as well as continuing through, and popular philosophy today is dress for the job you want. Dress better than the impression you want to make, right? It's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. We hear these things all the time. And it reminded me, and I hadn't even thought about this for actually decades, because that's how long I've been out of college. But I remember for some reason, I think it was my sophomore year of college. I guess I'd gone through my freshman year and struggled in a big city compared to what I grew up in. I went to Marquette my first couple of years of college, right out of Hudson, Wisconsin, which back then we only had like 5,000 people, doubled in size now, so it's huge, right? We're actually suburb of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And some people, Minnesotans, will say, no, you're not a suburb, but everybody else will say, yes, you are a suburb, because you're within a certain radius of a big city that makes you a suburb of that city, even if you live across state lines. Talk to people in Kansas City who live in two different states, right? So there's no rules. We make our own rules. We make our own definitions. I talk about that a lot. So I was thinking about that and about how every Tuesday I decided my sophomore year, for some reason, don't know why, just like normally Sunday you dress up to go to church. Back in the day, remember that? People don't even dress up to go to church anymore, but we would dress up to go to church every Sunday. And I kind of took that to college and said, okay, well, I'm going to dress up every Tuesday. Tuesdays, I had a lot of classes on Monday. I had classes every day of the week back then, but Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I would dress like everybody else did. And then on Tuesdays, I would just dress up a little better. And I don't remember why I even started doing it, but it became kind of a fun thing for me to do. And so every Tuesday, I'd either wear a dress, or I would wear a skirt and a nice blouse, or I'd wear a little suit or a jacket or something to dress up my appearance and my outfit. And it was interesting how much better and more confident I felt on Tuesdays than I did just regular days of the week, right? And so it was a big lesson learned about trying something different, even though people around me weren't doing it, and it making a positive difference and impact on the results I wanted to get. And so I'd like to go back and it wasn't until I was thinking about this idiom that I even remembered doing that. That's how long ago it's been. But that obviously made a lasting impression on me. And so I wanted to share that story, that sometimes we do things that we forget that we've done in the past that build our confidence and make us feel better. We're focusing on confidence this month in this year's annual challenge, the Get Your Goals annual challenge. And we picked an area of confidence that we're running through our 7-step goal process with. We designed and particularly created that process ourselves from a whole lot of other frameworks and goal setting processes that we looked at in January. And so then each month of this year, we're looking at least the first 9 months of this year, each of the different areas of the life framework, the 9 physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, confidence, and communication. Communication we did last month, confidence this month, contribution next month, which will be interesting because I think I'm going to be traveling. And when I'm traveling and doing videos, it's always an interesting show on the road to see how things work out. But today we're talking about step 5 of our goal process, which is tracking progress, identifying milestones. How do you know you're making progress? How do you know you're going from where you are to where you want to be? How do you know you're moving in the right direction? Because sometimes we do things and we take action and it actually causes us to move backwards. But sometimes we have to move backwards in order to move forward. Usually we take the path that is perfect for us, even though it doesn't feel perfect at the time, whenever we're doing anything. I remember starting and growing different businesses, and it was like a massive roller coaster. And I used to get upset when we were in a low and think, why is this so hard? Da, 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 da. And then I realized that those were the times when I was actually looking at and taking actions that were moving us in a direction that caused us to grow faster than the little problems that we were overcoming and surmounting. They're causing me to put systems and actions and good things in place that made life smoother down the road. So That's all I've got today. Family's getting ready to go out of town this weekend, so I get the house all to myself. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I like to help them get ready. So if I can help you in any way, hit me up. Otherwise, I am actually in the middle of a couple of projects and a branding course on the side because I figured it's been 5 years or so. It's time to really look at what is my personal brand? Who am I? Why do I show up? How do I show up? And how do I want to show up in a way that's a lot more consistent than my hodgepodge way of showing up over the last 5 years or the last, 5 decades? Because pretty much I've been a hodgepodge for 5 decades, and it's time to get a little bit more streamlined because that will help my confidence. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, share your comments, questions, concerns below, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.